brought to you by Accenture Extended Reality. This is Field of View.
The story of Blippar, if you're in the XR world, is very well known. It's a former tech unicorn that was incredibly well funded, that was super successful. That pioneered augmented reality back in 2011. When we were still using 2.5G networks and the very first smartphones. But the company has pivoted, and that's been well documented. What's really exciting is joining the company 2 years ago to have the opportunity to join a company that has been so iconic, that's based here in London, that's a real deep technology company, and have the chance to rebuild that, because these opportunities don't come around very often, and I feel very honoured that the team brought me on to lead this iconic turnaround, and we're at the start. We've made some great progress, but we've got if Skype, Kayak, and Spotify taught me anything, it's that the next 5 to 7 years are going to be really where the rubber hits the road.
And Faisal, obviously, this adventure in Blippar is your last adventure, but your history, your work history, is full of a lot of success. And you worked for very important companies and very well-known companies. You had some very successful exits. Would you like to give us a little bit of a background of yourself? We like to talk about the origin story of our guests. So we know that you have a past in competitive athletics. And then you worked, of course, for all those amazing startups. Would you like to give us a little bit of an overview about yourself?
Sure. You pointed out that in my prior life, I was a competitive athlete and used to run 400 meters as a UK junior and as a UK senior, and I did that for about 10 years, from being a teenager, 13 or 14, right the way through university, and then had to make a choice in my 20s about whether to double down and try to be a professional athlete, professional 400 meters runner, or go into the get a real job and join the world of in my case it was Arthur Andersen. But it was an amazing time, and athletics and the 400 meters is a great training ground for building, learning how to deal with resilience, picking yourself up, training, and coming to each race with great determination and with the idea that you can win each time, and that's a lot of what I use today, I think, in terms of the perspectives that I bring to some of the companies that I've been with and some of the missions that we've been on.
That's
so you've been able to transfer this kind of a competitive mindset and professional athlete mindset into the business that you're doing.
Absolutely, there's a lot that's transferable. I think the mental resilience that you need to have as a competitive athlete, because even if you're Usain Bolt, you don't win every race, and you need to come back the following week and put yourself on the line again. You build a real mental resilience. And the other thing that's really interesting is the way that you train is you train for peak events, and at the moment we have the Olympics that are coming up this summer, which means the athletes that are training for that have been preparing for the last 3 or 4 years for that one peak event, and that's very similar to the way that I've thought about my career, in that I go hard for 3 or 4 years in a particular company, and then you need to stop, because you can't continue at that pace indefinitely, and you need an off season. And so if you look back, there have been 3 to 4 year endeavors, and then I take a couple of months off, have my off season, recover, have a massage, and then go back
What,
at
what,
it again.
what do you like to do during your off time? What are your hobbies? What do you like doing?
I like to, I traveled a lot for work, but traveling for pleasure is quite different. And so I have an ongoing love affair with Spain. I was educated in Spain. First time around in Cordoba in the south of Spain, which is I have a fascination for, given its Islamic and Moorish history. And then I did my MBA in Barcelona, which is one of the most fun cities in the world. You can go to the beach in the summer and ski in the winter. Has great food. It's a great place to spend some time. So I try to spend as much time as I can in Spain. I'm also the father of three, and so when I do.
And by the way, congratulations for your newborn baby.
Thank you very much. Layla is 4 weeks old, but that means there isn't a great deal of free time anymore. And taking the little ones to their tennis classes and their football clubs and swimming classes, takes what little free time that there might be, but it's an absolute pleasure to be able to do those things.
Did you know you can catch this full episode of Field of View and more by subscribing on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you get your podcasts to not miss another immersive technology moment? Subscribe today.